We've been traveling through the Scottish Highlands in our camper van for over a month now. And you might be wondering, why Scotland? It's cold, rainy, and windy, and when it's finally not any of those things, then there are midges everywhere.
The bug spray doesn't seem to deter them much.
Well, the truth is, I became absolutely obsessed with Scotland about 5 years ago when I discovered the book series Outlander. It just so happens that I fell in love with Outlander during the 2020 lockdowns at the same time that we were starting to convert our camper van. There's some good bones here for us to work with.
Complete with the world's hardest mattress.
Bye! So it only made sense that eventually these two passions of mine would overlap in the ultimate van life adventure in Scotland. We've seen a lot of beautiful landscapes and historic sites, but we've been saving the ultimate Outlander fan experience for this week. We're gonna go visit as many Outlander filming locations as humanly possible in just 1 week, showing you the real-life versions of everywhere from Lallybroch to Ardsmuir Prison. But don't worry, even if you're not a big Outlander fan and you just like our van videos, there is so much cool history to discover along the way, and we'll be sharing the real-life backstory of these places too, not just their fictional counterparts. So let's go! It's time to step through the stones and start our adventure. Today we are just outside of Edinburgh and we are visiting Linlithgow Palace and Garden.
Here we go. Here we in Linlithgow.
I hope we're saying that right. I don't know.
I have no idea. Look, the place names in all of the UK just sound made up to me.
Yeah.
I was looking up things in Lonehead and Grangemouth last night. Like, what are these place names?
I feel like there's goofier ones than that still. Like,
whoa, I already see it.
Oh dang, that's so cool.
That's big. That's really big.
Okay, it was escaping me earlier, but like I was saying, there's definitely sillier names than Linlithgow. So let me present to you Upton Snodsbury, Netherwallop, and Barton in the Beans.
In the Beans?
We would actually love to live in Barton in the Beans.
I'm a big fan of beans.
They must have a lot of bean fields there or something.
So obviously this place is in ruin now, but that wasn't always the case. This place was a royal manor starting in the 1400s.
Wow, that is old.
And it was actually burned down accidentally in 1746 by who? The English?
Yeah, the Duke of Cumberland's army.
And it's been kind of in decay ever since.
The castle's current ruinous appearance made it the perfect location for Wentworth Prison.
Specifically, the Wentworth Prison corridors and entrance were filmed here.
Speaking of other famous stuff, you know, not quite as famous, but still pretty famous stuff, Mary Queen of Scots was born here.
That is so cool.
So that's pretty neat. Whenever we visit a place like this, I just love to look around and imagine what it would have been like to be here in like the 1500s. Like now it's just like an empty stone room.
An empty shell.
But there's clues here and there of human life that happened. Like there's a bench seat in front of the window. You can picture somebody sitting there and like, I don't know, reading a book or doing some embroidery. There's still the fireplace. You can imagine like a fire crackling there and warming up the space. You have to use your imagination because it really is just stone walls at this point, but it's cool. Oh my god, I hope she plays Hot to Go.
Katie, this is a chapel ruin, not chapel roan. That is a massive fireplace. You could put a whole tree trunk in there.
Yeah, for real.
Or an entire person. I'm just blown away that they could make this huge of a room in the early 1400s. This is massive.
Yeah, quite a large span without any columns.
This is where we should really be playing a tune because this is the musician's balcony above the Great Hall. So this is where we need chapel roan, right here. Oh, wow. This is a climb. Medieval people really got their steps in.
No kidding.
Wow. Okay, the view was cool, but the incoming rain is not. So we're headed back down. Yeah, in fact, it's already starting to rain. But hang on, we haven't been down yet. I didn't know the stairway continued.
This is where it gets really spooky.
Wentworth vibes, perhaps?
Yeah, this really feels like...
This could be a jail cell. This is a huge room.
Oh, there's a well down here.
And it's a huge room to be underground like this.
Yeah, it goes really deep.
I know it's just because the rain has started, but this dripping and this like spooky room, this really gives prison vibes.
It does. Come on, let's go. We gotta go rescue Jamie from Jack.
Okay, we better get going.
So this morning we were indulging my special interest, and this afternoon it's about Dan's favorite thing.
Oh ho ho, you must be assuming we're here to see a train.
Yes.
And because it's a train museum.
Yeah.
It is an Outlander filming location.
Oh my gosh, it's 2 in 1.
Did you even know that? It's from like the 1940s part of the show.
Oh, you know what? This, I already can tell just from you saying that, it's from the scene where Claire and Frank, like during the Second World War, depart from each other. There's like a scene where she gets on the train to leave and he like sees her off. So that must have happened here.
At the Bowness train station.
Oh my gosh, cool. Wow, we got a 2 for 1.
Yeah, see? We're really here for you, and
Okay.
just consider that in the future if you need to give me any favors, that I've done you this massive favor of taking you to yet another Outlander site.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, now that we've seen the platform and even got to see a train leave, we may as well go see the train museum, right?
You know, like that part wasn't an Outlander, but yeah, we can
Since
do
we're
it.
here, since we're
we're
here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you moved the track.
I wasn't expecting it to actually do that.
I promise I won't subject you to every train. You're gonna get a train montage.
This is really cool.
It's a runaway train and I can't stop it.
You waiting for your train?
Waiting for my train.
This just says near Isle of Skye, so let's try that.
Now I can decide which train gets to go. Well, that was cool. You gotta admit, that was pretty cool.
It's always neat to see some old trains. It's fun.
Yeah.
We've had our fun for the day though, and now we do have quite a number of chores.
I know, we've been putting it off way too long.
We've really been neglecting.
The van is in
the
a state.
We have dishes piled high in the sink. The gray water tank is so full that that's why I haven't been doing the dishes. The freshwater tank, it's showing on empty right now, and the pea jug is so full I'm not sure that we could safely use it one more time.
Oh no. Well, here we are. Time to do our chores. You're doing great work in here. We have the most dastardly chore of all still remaining.
Yeah.
The pea jug. I'll take it. I volunteer as tribute.
So that's our pitch for van life. Dump a pea jug, save a couple bucks. You're living the life.
Okay. Laptop for the show.
My snack. Oh, this looks so good.
We shouldn't even be showing that to the British.
This is probably the improper preparation, but these are crumpets. What's the brand? Like Warburton or something?
No, you were right. Warburtons.
Okay, and they come in an orange package. Anyway, crumpets with Nutella.
The part that is illegal in the UK is cutting a crumpet in half. That is not,
Apparently.
That is not the intended preparation.
We have had a productive time here at the campsite.
It's honestly one of the nicest campsites we've had this whole trip.
It's really nice. Yeah, we had lovely showers.
We ate dinner.
Now it's time for the show. My show is on. Every Friday, if you didn't know, there's an Outlander spinoff series currently airing, which we do have to VPN and all kinds of weird stuff to access it for a subscription that I pay for. But anyway, we have to VPN to the States. But let's be honest, it's nowhere near as good as the original series. Okay.
Let's just watch it.
Okay, we're gonna watch our show and eat our snack, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Last night was our first properly cold night in the van in Scotland. It got down to like 7 degrees.
Yeah.
But we were toasty in here with
We
our
do
heater
have our
going.
heater, yeah.
Now it's time for us to get out there and keep exploring, because we have a lot on the agenda today.
It's just so cozy in the bed that
It's hard to get out. Time to put this away.
Ooh.
Why do I feel like I'm going to a concert?
This is your
Super Bowl?
Yeah, this is your Super Bowl.
So I've already seen a couple girlies dressed like this, and I know that some people come here like kind of in halfway like cosplay or like 18th century outfits. I don't have anything like that,
So I just decided to wear my Jamie Fraser
Be
shirt
proud of
instead.
it. I think it's the perfect outfit for here.
Well, thanks. It's not exactly of the time, but you know, it's on theme at least.
Oh, it's on theme for sure. For Outlander fans, this castle needs no introduction.
You will recognize it right away.
For everyone else, this is Midhope Castle.
I'm so excited.
So welcome to Lallybroch. This is the home of the Fraser family, namely Jamie Fraser in Outlander. Obviously in real life this is Midhope Castle, but it is what they use for Lallybroch in the show. It's iconic. It is definitely at the heart of the series. It's like a spot that all Outlander fans will recognize immediately because it's so memorable. Unfortunately, you can't actually go inside. There was a fire in there in the 1950s, and so it's like it's just burnt out on the inside.
It's just been abandoned since then.
Yeah, but it's really beautiful on the outside here. The fun thing about Lallybroch in the Outlander series is that you get to see it through all of the centuries because, spoiler alert, obviously, you know, Jamie lives there in the 18th century, but later on in the future, we see it in the 20th century. Brianna and Roger come to live in it in the 80s and renovate it themselves. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. You see it in all its different stages of life. I mean, this is just a dream come true. Who doesn't dream of visiting Lallybroch one day? And now we're here. I feel like I'm just gonna look and see Jamie walking down the road any minute.
They actually must go to a lot of effort to transform Midhope into Lallybroch when they're filming the show.
I think it'd be really cool to see that behind the scenes process, but
Because like the windows aren't quite right, even this whole courtyard, like
it's
it
a little
looks
bit different. Like in
a little
the show,
abandoned.
there's like kind of buildings along where here is just a hedge. Like
I'm going to condense a bunch of the real history into a few key points for you. Basically, Midhope Castle was owned by the Hope family. It continues to be owned by the Hope family today. But in 1705, they moved over to a different place, Hopetoun House, which we're going to see later today. And what I find crazy is that this building ended up being housing for the workers on the estate until, unfortunately, there was a fire on the inside in the 1950s. I just think that I'm like, this is such a gorgeous place, and like it was housing for workers, which pop off. I'm glad for them that they had such a beautiful place, but it just seems like, wow, the next place we're going to see must be really grand if they moved on from here to go live there.
Gardener living in a castle, that's pretty much a dream job.
Maybe we should look into that.
We'll do an exchange abroad.
If the accommodations look like this.
Something tells me though, you wouldn't want that today because the inside of that castle, there's not much to it.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll pull up the van, we'll park it right in front, and then we'll spend a decade just like restoring the interior of the castle.
Well, I've been saying for years since the pandemic, I was like, we should get a chateau in France and renovate it, but you weren't so hot on the idea.
I don't know. Renovating a van was enough. I don't think I need to do a castle. Obviously, they have their target market pinned down because there are photos everywhere of stills from the show or behind the scenes videos.
Like, let's be honest, no offense to the real life Midhope Castle, but it's not exactly like it has this really illustrious history that's drawing people in for that.
Oh, this was like not on the map until Outlander.
Yeah, that's
Like,
definitely why people come here.
You can't go inside. It's really just a quick stop to look at the outside of the castle.
Yeah, and
but-
take pictures.
It has significance because of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to give us a tour of your shirt.
of my shirt.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta get a close up.
you guys have seen it before. Had to wear it.
Today was the day, for sure.
I'm surprised there's not more people here wearing Jamie Fraser shirts. Like, yeah, this has been incredible. Dream come true. I'm so happy that I have my own little picture with Lallybroch.
They really do seem to film it from like the same angle every time.
Well,
like
it's kind of got that one iconic.
kind of looks good from this direction.
Yeah. This has been really cool. This is kind of the ultimate as far as Outlander filming locations go, but
This has been your favorite so far?
oh well, for sure. But there's more to see.
There is more to see.
So let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Wow, this is a pretty epic view to pull up to.
This is crazy. This is proper like estate.
Yeah. Okay, I admit I can see why they upgraded from Midhope Castle to Hopetoun House.
All right, here we are. Which way do we go?
That way. So crazy to me how as soon as you look this way, it is so undeniably modern. Like you can see those
Huge bridges
those
over there.
massive bridges. But then if you turn and face this way, it's like you're in the 18th century. It's just funny because these actors that would have been like out in front of the house here, well, that's what they would see.
They'd be staring at a modern bridge.
Yeah, another example of movie magic. You just gotta pick your angles. Okay, so this is an Outlander filming location, and they actually use this site for like a bunch of different stuff, different angles, interiors, exteriors, all for different places like throughout the seasons.
Throughout all time in history.
Yeah, the front here though, this is the Ellesmere estate. So that's kind of like the iconic front part. But we're going to tour around. We've got a handy dandy map that they handed us when we got here.
Again, they know their audience.
Of all the different filming locations, and we're going to try to see them all.
My vote is to do the outside first, since it's not raining right now.
Yeah.
And in Scotland, that's never guaranteed to stay that way.
Yeah. Exterior of Maison de Madame Elise. And I'm pretty sure that's in Edinburgh. That's the brothel where Jamie has a bedroom that he rents.
Oh my.
No, sorry, wrong brothel. This is the brothel where Fergus was born. This is the one in France.
How many brothels feature an Outlander?
2.
Well, but in Blood of My Blood, there's a
Now
third.
there's a third.
We think this could have been a stable at one point.
Yeah, like I remember there being like a curved wall and he kind of standing in front of it working, and then Geneva just walks right on up to him and she's like, Mackenzie,
Oh,
sleep with me, take me to bed.
oh my.
Spoilers, this is all full of spoilers. Okay, we've made it to another filming location. This doubled as a street in Paris where they had a market set up. And even though we're just like within some fancy person's house, you can totally see how this would work for a street.
You are behind the scenes.
I am. I've become the scene.
So here we've arrived at the back of the house, which is the set for the Duke of Sandringham's house, as we see it in season 1. I just think it's kind of cool, like the way this house is built. It kind of has 2 fronts, and they're quite believable as like different buildings altogether. Not that it looks like disjointed to the front or whatever, but it's just like you
But
wouldn't necessarily notice.
They used the back for somebody completely different's house
Yeah,
compared to the front.
yeah.
Even the TV show notwithstanding, like this is just a massive complex
Yeah.
of buildings and grounds. And it's still owned by
The family.
like an earl, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The Earl of
the little
Hopetoun.
bulletin, it's signed off by the Earl of Hopetoun, and it says that the home has been in their family since 1699. Nothing's been in my family since 1699. How about you?
No, nothing at all.
Just leaves genetics. Yikes. Here's a little bit of real history about Hopetoun House. It was actually built in 2 phases. First in 1699 and again in 1721. And that's why there's kind of 2 distinct exteriors. So the backside, that's the Duke of Sandringham's house, that was built in 1699. And then the front, the exterior on the front, that's the Ellesmere estate, that was actually done in 1721. So that's kind of why they
By
have
different
their own
people?
distinct looks. Yeah, by 2 different architects.
Oh, okay.
And apparently the second guy, the one who added on in 1721, remodeled the front to make it kind of resemble Versailles. And I would say it does kind of give that vibe. A little bit of real history behind how they used it in Outlander.
Various rooms in this house were used in Outlander, but this one in particular, like they didn't change it as much. So it's a little bit more recognizable compared to some of the bedrooms that we saw upstairs. They were also used in Outlander, but
Just not as obvious.
it's hard to tell a little bit.
Yeah, this is a pretty iconic room. This is like the Duke of Sandringham's like drawing room or salon or something like that. But basically Claire comes to like ask for him, like for his help with getting Jamie's name cleared basically so that he won't be an outlaw anymore. She like low-key tries to like blackmail him, but anyway, how cool.
You know what I think's crazy?
What?
Our guide, Phil, who was great by the way, said everything to the left of the house is still the private residence. And our
Yeah.
whole tour was the stuff on the right.
Wow, they must be pretty cramped. Do you think they have enough space over there?
Well, he said this house has been gifted to the eldest son because whichever Earl of Hopetoun we're on now wanted to have a little cottage, so is now living in a 10-bedroom house elsewhere on the estate.
Yeah.
Good rainy morning from Blackness. Blackness is a historic port town on the Firth of Forth. That's the mouth of the Forth River. And every historic town in Scotland seems to have a castle. And this one is no exception. So let's go check it out. The rain is absolutely blowing in sideways. This is a rare exception to my flip-flops only typical footwear dress code.
Welcome to Blackness Castle, aka Fort William in Outlander Season 1. This is a foreboding sight to any Outlander fan because you know this is where Jamie first met with Black Jack Randall with his first run-in with the law. And later, Claire was kidnapped by Jack Randall and taken here, and Jamie and his band of Highlanders came and broke her out in quite an exciting sequence of events. But yeah, in real life it's Blackness Castle. It's known as the ship that never sailed because it's here on the Firth of Forth, and it kind of looks like a boat a bit from a distance. So that's what we're exploring today. in the rain and sleet and everything else.
Spooky. In case you're not an Outlander fan, this is your content warning. Like, don't start watching the show just because, oh, there's pretty castles in it. Katie and Dan said to watch it.
Huge trigger warning for basically everything that could possibly trigger you, honestly.
Yeah, be warned.
It's like Game of Thrones level. I would equate it to that. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but from what I hear, so
There you
take
go.
care. Take care.
Take care of yourself. So the real history of Blackness Castle is that it was built as a lord's manor in the 1450s.
Really?
But it actually spent more of its time serving as a prison. From the 1500s through to the 1700s, it was a prison of various types.
Okay.
Like a state prison, a prison of war.
Interesting. It definitely gives the foreboding vibe of a prison, and less, manor home.
Yeah, you'd really have to zhuzh it up a bit to
make it
it
feel
a
comfy.
manor home. Yeah. We really need to get back down out of the wind. I'm blowing away up here. Wow.
Whoa. This is cool.
This is pretty nice.
I wasn't even expecting to be able to go inside here. This is really cool.
Because this is just a totally self-guided exploration. You just never know what you'll stumble across in the next room.
Yeah.
There's no brochure, no nothing.
Just us and Wikipedia.
Well, and these signboards. That's
Yeah.
where we get most of the info. They really did just build this place right on top of the rock, didn't they?
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
the rock is all included in the castle.
Yeah, it's
And
a little
it
bit
is
tricky
Slippery when
footing.
wet. Yeah, careful.
Yeah, I was reading before that probably when it was in use, this whole courtyard down here would have been covered in with gravel or sand to make it even, because it's very bumpy through here.
No shortage of spiral staircases. This tower was used as a prison, and many of the people who found their way here were actually important members of society that just had a falling out with the king.
They had a pretty bougie life here, which is kind of surprising, but I guess, no matter what century you're in, money can always buy comfort.
When they came here, they brought their servants with them, and they were actually allowed to go out during the day. They just had to return to the castle every night. We are out here risking life, limb, and wireless mic for you guys. Headed out into the storm to get a good shot of this castle. Golly, the storm is blowing in.
An absolute typhoon right now.
Oh my gosh.
Blowing a gale. I was reading a sign in the visitor center that was talking about the process of filming Outlander, and they were saying for all of these signs that are up on the buildings, like the historical plaques, they made rubber or foam covers that fit perfectly over these signs that just looked like a stone, looked like a stone, I guess, so that it would just blend into the facade, so they didn't have to CGI them out later. It just was a practical effect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, there you have it. Your window's steaming up already behind you.
The next day, we explored another scenic village that will be familiar to Outlander fans. This is Falkland, but on TV, it's Inverness in the 1940s, where we see Claire and Frank on their honeymoon. I can totally see why they chose this adorable town. We visited real-life Inverness earlier on this trip, and while it's gorgeous, it's definitely a modern city. Falkland, on the other hand, does a great job of evoking the vintage Highland charm. Most famously on the show, this is the town square where Jamie's ghost stands, gazing up at Claire in the window, before we ever even see her step through the stones for the first time. While author Diana Gabaldon has said that the mysterious man in the scene is indeed Jamie's ghost, he is still currently living at this point in the series for everybody keeping track at home, so we will have to wait for book 10 to come out, where she promises that all will be revealed in the mystery of Jamie's ghost. Now, trust me when I say we did a pretty comprehensive tour of Outlander's most famous filming locations. I am a committed fangirl, okay? It would take forever to show you them all in depth, so let's do a rapid fire round of what we haven't shown you yet. This is Ardsmuir Prison, otherwise known as Craig Miller Castle in real life. We toured this castle with my parents when they were here visiting. It was used for the exterior shots of Ardsmuir, and you can especially identify it in these courtyard scenes when Jamie is standing next to the famous yew trees, which tradition says were planted while Mary Queen of Scots was residing in the castle, and they were planted in her honor. Next up is Bakehouse Close. a small street near the bottom of the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. This plays as Carfax Close, where A. Malcolm's print shop is in season 3, and the site of the best reunion in TV history, in my very objective opinion, of course. The little town of Chores is Scotland's most complete example of a 17th and 18th century borough. Its winding cobblestone streets and historic houses make you feel like you're stepping through the stones and back in time. Chores was used as Cranesmuir in Outlander, which is where Geillis Duncan lives, and where the witch trial takes place. I personally think the most recognizable spot is the Market Cross. This is where that little boy from the village gets nailed to the pillory in season 1. However, keen observers will notice that the buildings are white in real life, not gray. That's because the Outlander set design team painstakingly painted the town gray before filming. We went to Chores Palace, and while it's officially called a palace, when you step inside, it feels much more like what it really was, a home of a wealthy merchant, Sir George Bruce. The oldest parts of the home date back to 1597. The drawing room in the palace was used as the interior of the Fiscal's house, that's where Geillis lived, and they even had a display of one of her costumes there. How cool! Outside we explored the palace gardens, which were also featured in Outlander as the castle gardens at Leoch. We see Claire and Geillis collecting herbs there together in the unique terraced garden. The Battle of Culloden is hugely significant to the story of Outlander. We visited Culloden Moor with my parents as well, and of course we had to pay our respects at the Clan Fraser Stone. The Glasgow Cathedral was used for Hôpital des Anges, where Claire worked in Paris. Even though it's a cathedral, I think it plays well as an 18th century hospital in Paris. It's a beautiful Gothic building. It really feels like you could meet Mother Hildegard wandering through the nave. Now, while this isn't a filming location for Outlander, I do have to give a shout out to the Callanish Standing Stones. These were the visual inspiration for Doune, which, fun fact, were actually massive styrofoam stones that the crew designed to film the show. But we got to see the real thing, which is way cooler. And now this last one was just by coincidence. We just happened to drive by Ward Park Studios on our way from Edinburgh to Glasgow. This is the studio where most of Outlander was filmed, so that's pretty cool.
Today we are visiting Doune Castle, which is Castle Leoch in the Outlander series. I'm particularly excited today because I hear there's an audio tour here narrated by the one and only Sam Heughan.
Even if you're not an Outlander fan, you might recognize this castle from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where it served as Camelot. It turns out the audio guide isn't all Sam Heughan, just the stops that have the Outlander symbol.
Let me listen to one. This is 17.
There he is. The voice of Jamie Fraser. The actor behind Jamie Fraser. Jamie Fraser himself. She's not going to be able to concentrate on what he's saying.
Yeah, because you're talking so much. Let me listen.
Hello, Agus Falcha. Hello and welcome to this special mini-tour. Is Misha Sam Heughan. I'm Sam Heughan and I play Jamie Fraser, the dashing warrior hero of the hit TV drama Outlander, based on the novels by Diana Gabaldon. We filmed here at Doune Castle in late 2013 and early 2014. Of course, in the show, the castle goes by the fictional name Castle Leoch. It's the place where the heroine's Second World War nurse, Claire, is mysteriously transported from 1945 to the Scottish Highlands in 1743.
The parts of the audio guide that aren't Outlander stops are narrated by Terry Jones, the creator of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. One crazy fact is that they recreated the kitchen from this castle in a soundstage when they were filming Outlander. They did like an exact replica, including taking moldings of the brickwork to be able to duplicate that. The set even duplicated the scratch marks on the walls from where the cooks would sharpen their knives.
And they duplicated it so well that when we walked in there, I was like, I recognize this. This is the kitchen at Castle Leoch. And so I was like, maybe they filmed it here? But no, they just duplicated it so accurately that it looks exactly the same as the one that's here.
That's crazy. All this because the stone was so delicate in the real castle that they didn't want to damage it. And of course, in the set, there's stuff hanging on the walls and it's a lively kitchen.
It's much more practical to have it as a set. But it's cool that they were like so dedicated to make it look like the kitchen that's here.
That's crazy. How does it feel to be at Castle Leah?
Pretty iconic.
Can you imagine the courtyard filled with, you know, different shanties and huts and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, this is really making me want to rewatch Outlander season 1. It's cool. It's really neat. I think one of the most interesting facts about this place and its use in Outlander is that when Claire and her 20th century husband Frank visit here in the 1940s, it looks like derelict and like crumbled and stuff like that. And actually, they had to CGI it, making it look worse than it is in real life, because it's actually in pretty good repair, and that made it a lot easier for them when they were filming the like 18th century scenes. So I think that's kind of cool. Like, rather than make an old castle look new, they made like a, you know, well-repaired castle look worse.
Yeah.
For the 1940s scene. I think
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Katie from the future here, also no longer in the van. I had to tell you about this, even though it happened several weeks after we filmed this video, but it was the perfect cherry on top of this Outlander fan tour. I honestly can hardly believe I'm saying this, but I got to meet Sam Heughan. AKA real life Jamie Fraser. Months ago, I booked tickets to see him play Macbeth in a Royal Shakespeare Company production in Stratford-upon-Avon. It was an incredible show. It was in their Other Place Theater, which only has 200 seats, so it's a really intimate venue. Trust me when I tell you, I have never been this locked in on Shakespeare in my life. After the show, I went outside to wait by the stage door along with 50 or 60 other fangirls, and Mr. Heughan very kindly came out to say hello to all of us. I wish I had a more exciting interaction to report back on, but I basically just said, incredible performance, really great work. And he was like, thank you. And I was like, can we take a photo together? And then I got this. Yeah, honestly, I can still hardly believe that happened. And just like, what an amazing way to end this like pilgrimage to Scotland. Meeting Jamie Fraser in the flesh. Anyway, just one of those incredible things that happens when you live this crazy van life that we do, and I'm so grateful for it. So I thought I should tell you about it. What a magical journey we've been on together, through the Highlands and through time as well. Outlander is what made me fall in love with Scotland in the first place, but now I love this place for its own sake as well. This beautiful country full of fascinating history and stunning landscapes has given us the most incredible adventure these past few months, and whether you love Outlander or not, we couldn't recommend this enough. We only have a few weeks of van life in Scotland left, so make sure you stay tuned for more adventures in our next video. We'll see you then!